Evolutions are extremely popular through the Pokemon world, but how strong are they? Today, we're going to find out one of the original evolutions, Jolteon. Jolteon is all gas but no brakes. This evolution is extremely fast but lacks a little zest when it comes to attacking if it isn't using its stab electric moves. But when able to use those electric moves, boy does Jolteon pack a jolt. Get it? Because jolt is a form of electricity and its name's Jolteon.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Anyways, this run is going to take a lot of thinking. Jolteon has a big weakness in ground, and while Kanto is covered in plenty of challenges, such as Brock, Giovanni, tons of hikers through the tunnels, and well, don't worry, we have a plan. These challenges will be overcome, and Jolteon will show how fierce it truly can be. Now, let's talk about these stats though. Like I said, Jolteon is all gas. This Pokemon runs a base 130 speed, making it one of the fastest Pokemon in Fire Red. So speed is not going to be an issue at all for us. What will be an issue is how our attack is split. Don't get me wrong, 110 base special is really awesome, but when Jolteon only learns electric special moves, that's not going to be fun for the ground types. And, well, its physical attack, it's bad. 65 base, and well, that's going to make for some tricky fights when it comes to those pesky ground types. Our defenses are, well, again, really bad. 55 special, 60 physical, and our HP is about 65 base. Thank goodness we are fast, because as long as we are one-shotting these Pokemon, we have nothing to even worry about. Now, Jolteon's moves to start are not the greatest. We are relying on Tackle for the beginning of this challenge, and don't learn an electric move even until level 16. And that's not going to make for a fun time versus Brock. Jolteon does gain some answers to those rock types in Double Kick, but will it be enough? The nice thing, at least, towards the late game, Jolteon does start to finally gain some access to some really strong TMs, such as Secret Power, Return, Thunderbolt, and Iron Tail. It's just too bad the last two are stuck behind a paywall with the casino, so we're going to have to budget our time and our money well to make this one work. Now, before we get started, I need to say a huge thank you to all of you. That Scyther video absolutely took off, smashing all numbers that I even thought were possible for me. I asked for 8 likes, we got 27. Holy cow. And again, just thank you guys so much. Like that, it means a lot to me. If you guys keep liking them, I'll keep making them. How about we aim for 10 likes on this one? We're so close to 1,000 sub mark too. So if you guys are enjoying it, please make sure to hit that sub button. I've got one last shout out as well. This one goes out to Brad or something. He had mentioned Jolteon in the last video in the comments for us to try. And well, here we are. So with that, let's get this one started and get moving. Now, rules for the run are in the description, but in short, I can only use Jolteon in battle, no items in battle, but held items are allowed, no glitches. I run the game at 4 times speed, so I can try and get these out a little quicker. And finally, I use in-game time to judge the times, not IRL time. Now, Jolteon to start this run is a bit handcuffed. In terms of its attacking moves, we only have Tackle, it's 35 PP, but it's also very weak. It's actually only 95% accurate in Gen 3 too, so that's also not an ideal situation for us by any means. And to top it all off, it's resisted by Brock's Pokemon. So, what are we going to do? Because Jolteon doesn't learn anything that's going to be useful anytime soon either. Like, its next attacking move is Thundershock at level 16, and that has no effect versus Brock. Well, you guessed it. It's a struggle run. What I'm planning on doing is getting us to level 15, moving from there, and hopefully that is enough to help us get by Brock. Now, after beating all the trainers in the forest and the optional rival fight, we finally make it to level 15. I find a Kakuna, and we drain our PP so we can finally go and take on Brock for the very first time.
Oh, come on!
And yeah, that went about as well as I expected it to go. Level 15, I guess, is just not where we need to be. So the plan is to go back to the forest. We're going to train again on the wild Pokemon, and this time we're going to go to level 18. That's the next damaging running threshold, so I'm hoping that is going to give us enough boost in our attack to get by this very, very tough first challenge. As you can see, we're almost at 2 hours in game time, which is just not a great start. It is what it is. I also forgot to heal going into this one, the paralyze. But we're able to get by the Geodude with minimal damage. Only 40 HP left. The nice thing in Gen 3, if you are slower, they typically do not use moves that are going to affect speed. And you see it right here. Onix does not use Rock Tomb once. It's just tackle and bind. And we struggle our way through our first attempt at level 18 and beat Brock. Maybe the paralyze is the key the whole time for that one. On to Mount Moon, which was an absolute ease thanks to Thundershock and us not seeing any ground type Pokemon or rock type Pokemon. And then it's on to Cerulean City. And I go to Misty first because, yeah, we're an electric type, and the extra XP is going to be super helpful when it comes to the rival, because I'm kind of concerned about that Ivysaur. At that point, it knows Sleep Powder, and I'm not sure what we're going to do. And, yeah, like I said, the Misty fight was pretty easy. 3 Thunder Shocks, and Jolteon takes it down. We do learn Quick Attack, so I replace Tackle with that, because it is 5 base power more and more accurate. Well, 2 badges in 2 hours. Maybe we can make up a bit of ground here. Sparky comes out. Pidgeotto's going to be an easy one-shot with Thundershock. And Rattata sees the same fate. Abra, you never have to worry about because it has no attacking moves. But here's the problem. I said Ivysaur, but it's a Bulbasaur earlier. But it puts us to sleep. And then it combinations Leech Seed. And with going to sleep again and losing our health and not waking up, unfortunately the rival is able to take us out. Our second attempt, though, goes a lot better. Again, we take out the Pidgeotto, the Rattata, and the Abra. But Bulbasaur decides not to use Sleep Powder and uses Poison Powder. I do use Sand Attack to hope to get those poison or those powder moves to miss, but it didn't. But honestly, Poison Powder over Sleep Powder, I'll take all day, and we're able to take it down with a few Thunder Shocks and moving on past this. While making our way through Nugget Bridge in the Route 25, I decide to take on this optional hiker. And the reason for doing that is we can get the TM for Secret Power right above. And by doing so, we have to fight this hiker so we can pull down the camper with not being able to use Cut yet. I was a little nervous doing this with him having 3 Geodudes, but being double the level, we're able to take them down with quick attacks and then take his Machop down with a Thunder Shock and get that nice Secret Power base 70 attack move for later on. We then help Bill with his weird experiments again, get him out of his costume, and get the SS ticket. And then we go grab the bike voucher when we first get to Vermilion City, and then it's on to the boat for a nice little vacation ride where we pick up the TM for Rest, Pecha Berries, Cherry Berries, and a Chesto Berry, and a Great Ball while we're at it. Then we've also got this nice little rival fight. And due to having Secret Power, I was not worried about this anymore. Thundershock takes down Pidgeotto. We were able to take Raticate down with another Thundershock. Kadabra is a Thundershock, but he just uses Disable, which is fine. So we're able to take it down. And then a couple Secret Powers after getting a Paralysis on it, we're able to take down Ivysaur with not taking a single hit. I love it. We're rolling. We're finally getting somewhere. We go get the HM for Cut from the captain after we give him a little rub down. And then we catch our Diglett for our HM friend. Now, I do have a question for you guys involving this puzzle. Sometimes I'm really bad at it, and I'm not afraid to admit that. But it just means we waste time too. Like, I don't know how much time I actually wasted doing this. So should I save when we find the first switch to make sure it's optimal? Because there is times where I go to the wrong spot. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, if that's cheating or if it's a way to help kind of make sure we get an accurate time of the Pokemon. Finally, after getting through those switches, we are able to make our way to Lieutenant Surge. And this fight is no issue at all. We know Dig, so we one-shot the Voltorb, and I'm more happy about learning this move, Double Kick. Those pesky rock types, if we finally have something that's super effective against them, Doesn't help us with the ground types, but this is definitely a nice thing to have for us. Anyways, back to this easy fight. Pikachu goes down to Secret Power because it's just relatively so weak when it comes to physical moves. I still lot for Secret Power versus Raichu, and then we get paralyzed 3 times before finally breaking through and taking it out. This game really wanted Lieutenant Surge to win, but Sparky says no way, shuts the door. We've got 3 badges in about 3 hours. But in no way is the rest of this run going to be easy. Now, I typically don't show too much of Rock Tunnel, but with us being an electric type, I thought I would show a couple fights here that gave us some issues, or that should have gave us some issues. This hiker here, Oliver, he's got an Onix, a Geodude, and another Onix. Well, Sparky with double kick just goes to town. We are able to somehow, luckily, get through this without taking a single hit of damage. But this could have been a huge wall for us, especially if the hiker used an actual move instead of just using defensive bulk up moves. And the other one I wanted to show is Hiker Dudley. He's got 2 Geodudes and a Graveler. All 3 can go boom. The Geodudes go down with double kick with no problem. Perfect. Graveler is a little bit more difficult. It is going to be a 2-shot of double kick, but thankfully it only rolled a magnitude 6. And we're able to take them out and make our way out of Rock Tunnel. Thank gosh, because I would have had a pretty big meltdown, I think, if we were not going to be able to get through there. But we're able to get by that and make our way to Celadon City. Once we make it to Celadon, we head right to the game corner and start the Team Rocket plotline. We grab the rare candy that's in the 1 floor, and then we take on the guy that has the lift key, grab that, and then it's on to the Giovanni fight. And I should mention at this point, we have taught Shockwave. A lot more damage than Thundershock. I think it was 20 plus base power, but it's going to be helpful. First, the Onix, it's right, the double kick. It's really the only useful move we have. We're able to take it out, taking minimal damage from it, which is great. It just decided to use Rage. The Rhyhorn does stomp, does a little bit of damage as well. We have 75 HP after taking it out. The Kangaskhan goes for Fake Out, and then demolishes us with a Mega Punch. Okay, well, let's try this again, see if we can get a little bit better luck. First, the Onix, double kick does it again. We take about the same amount of damage, I believe, so we're perfect, no different roll. We get a critical hit on the double kick, but it's not enough to take out the Rhyhorn, so we still have to hit it one more time. The Kangaskhan does not do a Fake Out and just goes for Tail Whip. I'm not going to complain. I'll take that one. We get the Self Scope from Giovanni, and then we can make our way on to getting that 4th gym badge in about 4 hours. Now, for Erica, I wasn't 100% sure what I really wanted to do. The only thing I knew I really wanted to do was make sure we had the Cherry Berry equipped, because that Victreebel loves Stun Spore. I do think we're going to rely on Secret Power for right now. We do get a Luckily Paralysis versus this Victreebel right out of the gates, and we are not paralyzed going into the Tangela. I'm really happy with our situation. Secret Power is unfortunately not doing a lot of damage, though, and then we get poisoned. Eric is going to heal once we get it to the red, and yeah, just not enough, unfortunately, for this one. We get to the Vileplume at 13 HP, but with poison damage, we end up at 1, and it's able to take us out. So let's try this again. We still got the berry. I'm thinking we can do okay, but it does get a paralysis. We didn't do enough damage, and it got the heal, and we get paralyzed again. And now we've only got 34 HP going into Tangela. That's not an ideal situation. It uses Ingrain and then Giga Drain, and we do get a critical hit. That makes us able to get to the Vileplume, but due to us being paralyzed, it takes us down. Alright, and after a couple more times of it stomping on our throat, let's try it one more time here. We get the Victreebel down to low yellow health. Erica heals. We are both paralyzed, but we are able to take it out without taking any damage, really, for the most part. Tangela comes out next. A couple secret powers. We do get our own paralysis, and then Erica uses a full heal, and we're able to take it out. And we've got a good chunk of health left for this Vileplume. Okay, 42 HP. It's using Giga Drain. We get a paralysis. We can now go first. And on 4 HP, are you kidding me? Well, after that one, you gotta think we've got all the bad luck out of the way, don't you? Well, versus the Victreebel, we get a nice secret power with a paralysis. We do, unfortunately, use our Cherry Berry up, but we don't take any damage. Okay, we're looking alright. Tangela doesn't really do much damage to us either. We're at 63 HP after a bunch of secret powers. We get a first turn paralysis to the Vileplume, which means Erica's going to full heal. Okay, we got it in the range, and she heals. We have 7 HP. We get a crit and the paralysis. We go first. We don't get paralyzed this time. Let's go, Sparky. We get our 4th gym badge in under 4 hours. Oh, that was a good one. It felt good to win that one after a very long struggle. There was a good amount of resets there, unfortunately. Now we head to the superstore so we can sell some stuff. That way we can pick up a bit of vitamins for Sparky here. I do a lot to go for 4 proteins. This way it helps out our base physical attack because it is so weak. And I do feel like in the end of this run we are going to have a very physical moveset. As that's pretty well all Sparky can learn besides electric moves, and we definitely cannot win this game with only electric moves. Before we leave Celadon, we have some household items to do. We go pick up the tea, we catch a Spearow, and then we get the HM for Fly after we stumble around the outside of that house because we just don't know what we're doing. Then we head back to Lavender so we can take on the rival one more time. Let's see how this one goes. The Ivysaur still scares me, but with Shockwave we're able to take the Pidgeotto down in one shot. I'm liking it. He does have a Gyarados now, but Shockwave makes me not scared of that giant sea lizard at all. Growlithe takes the same fate. Shockwave's doing work here. It's one-shotted everything so far, and then we get a critical hit using Secret Power versus the Ivysaur. I'll take that today. I really will. Now, I don't typically show this part. This is where we get one of our rare candies, but it is a Marowak here as the ghost. So let's see how we do with Sparky. We get a nice paralysis off our first secret power, but as you can see, one boomerang takes down our electric dog. This could be tough. Now, this is a prime example of why I use in-game time too when it comes to game mechanics, because I should have realized there was a Marowak here and we were going to have problems, and we should have saved. But after a couple secret powers and some paralysis luck, we're able to take down Marowak with 4 HP. And there we go. But back to what I was saying, the reason why I like to do this, our in-game, is exactly for that reason. As we save, we had to go all the way back and fight the rival fight all over again. And that's not necessarily fair for Sparky here, as it's my fault that we didn't save versus our Marowak. And yeah. Anyways, we save Mr. Fuji, get the Poke Flute, and then I go pick up the TM for return, because that's going to be a pretty big move for us later on. Now, we don't do anything too interesting before heading to the Safari Zone, so let's just go there. We grab the gold teeth, and then grab the HM for Surf, and then it's on to Koga's gym, which this gym was a little tricky with the trainers. We had to watch who we fought, because it did have a couple Sand Slashes, and yeah, that wasn't a fun time for Jolteon by any means. And then, as you can see, I forgot how to use my brain and couldn't beat the invisible wall. Oh, that was painful to rewatch, I'm not going to lie. Anyways, the first attempt goes pretty poorly because we forgot to heal.
Go!
So, yeah. We lose because we suck and forgot to heal. And we have 9 HP versus the Weezing. It actually went pretty well for what we had. Anyways, our second attempt. Let's try this again. We take down the Coughing with a Shockwave. That's good to know. Muck's a little bit more difficult, but it is going to use Minimize. So we use Return, and we leave it on red health. Okay. I think I know what our issue is here. We should have been using Shockwave the whole time. The Coughings are nice to know. We don't have to worry about them. Weezing is a 2-shot, so we just have enough HP to get to that point. Now, I was contemplating using our Pecha Berry. I really didn't want to use our Pecha Berry because I'm scared of Giovanni's Poison Point, Nidoking, and Nidoqueen. And I'm glad we didn't use it because we didn't need it. As you can see, we get all the way to the Coughing at 81 health. It does get a poison off on us, but we're able to take it out and have really good standing of HP there. Perfect. On to the next one. After defeating Koga, we head straight to Saffron City and start the Team Rocket plot. We make it to the rival at level 45, and then Jolteon proceeds to start a freaking light show, taking down the Pidgeot, the Gyarados, and the Growlithe, all with Shockwave. Keep doing that work, baby. We got 2 more Pokemon left. Alakazam goes down in 2 Shockwaves. Thankfully, it just used Calm Mind, so no damage. 109 for the Venusaur. I'm loving where we're at. I decided to go to Secret Power, and it puts us to sleep. And then gets a critical hit. Okay. Well, let's try this again. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to do this with the Venusaur. But it's nice to see Jolteon is able to take out every single one of the rival's Pokemon besides him at this level. It gives me a little bit of confidence that there is maybe a way. We try the Secret Power again. We do get a paralysis. Perfect. We take the Future Sight from Kadabra. It puts us to sleep, but I decided to put a Chesto Berry on. But it continues to put us to sleep. But, okay, we're at red health. Then the Razor Leaf takes us out. Oh, we were so close. Okay, so I decided to go level up. I don't think at 45 we're doing what we need to do. There's tons of trainers here that all disappear once we beat Giovanni. So let's take our time. Let's use what we can here and get to a good level for this fight instead of wasting our time. Okay, let's try this again. I come back at level 47. By the time we get to the Venusaur, we should be level 48, hitting a new damaging rounding threshold. And hopefully, it's enough to get by here. Now, the start of this fight goes exactly how it's been going. Shockwave kills the Gyarados, the Pidgeot, the Growlithe, and then it's a 2-shot for the Alakazam, so as long as he doesn't use an attacking move, we're really good. Now, the Venusaur, we're going to continue the Secret Power route, trying to get that paralysis. I did have the Chesto Berry. We get a quick wake up after the second turn of Sleep Powder. We're able to get it to low yellow, but it puts us to sleep again, and oh, not again. Okay, I'm going to try one more time, and then we're going to go level up. Fight at the start. Exact same way. It's hard to show these fights when the first half of them go so well, and then one Pokemon is a wall. But anyways, we get through the first 4. Venusaur comes out next. One return doesn't do enough. We're going to keep going return here. I've tossed out the Secret Power route, and maybe that's what we need to do is we get a nice critical hit, and we're able to move on to Giovanni. And I have some worries for Giovanni, as it does have a Nidoqueen this time. But let's give it a go. Nidorino isn't a one-shot, which is very unfortunate. If we could one-shot that, we wouldn't have to take any chip damage. And then it looks like Nidoqueen's going to be a 3-shot with return. We do make it by, though. We have 74 HP for the Kangaskhan. I elect for double kick, but we get flinched. So then I just decided to go for return. It's also a 3-shot, but it for some reason went for tail whip when we had 21 HP. Rhyhorn comes out next. Are we going to be able to do it? Oh, 1 HP and a dream for the Rhyhorn, and it takes us out. Of course it did. Alright, well, let's try this again, because that was pretty close. I don't know if it was luck, but let's try it out. I'm liking where we're at. We don't one-shot the Nidorino. So, okay, we take it down. Nidoqueen comes out next. It's going to be 3-shot with return, and it gets poison pointed. Oh, that ability. That ability is going to be the nightmare for us, because if we get poisoned, there's just no way of beating Giovanni. And here's why. We have to 3-shot the Nidoqueen. So if we get poisoned off the first one, it's a tough feat. And then we've got to 3-shot the Kangaskhan. And then 2-shot the Rhyhorn. There's no way we can survive chip damage from Poison Point. As you can see, we just got obliterated by a Mega Punch on a critical hit. Oh, goodness. Let's try it one more time, though, okay? I believe we can get back to where we were if this Nidoqueen would stop poisoning us. But it doesn't. Let's see what we can do, though. It's Mega Punch puts to 8 health. We get the Kangaskhan down the red, but we go down. Okay. This isn't going to work. Or so I thought. Nidorino's still a 2-shot depending on whatever moves we use, but we take it out anyways. Nidoqueen comes out, and we use Secret Power trying to get the paralysis. We don't, so it makes us a 4-shot, but he doesn't attack us even once after that. It was all just tail whips. Okay, we're in a pretty good standing for Kangaskhan, and we get a critical hit on the Shockwave. Let's go. And then Rhyhorn is just a 2-shot with double kick. Where was that the first time around? I guess we must have low rolled, but anyways, the hindsight is we didn't have to use that Pecha Berry, and we were able to use it for when we take on Giovanni for the 8th gym badge. Before we take on Sabrina, though, I do take on most of her trainers in the gym. It's not necessarily that I want to level up for her, but I want to level up for the 8th gym badge. If we struggled with Giovanni at Self-Co, we are really going to struggle with Giovanni as an 8th gym leader if we do not get to a proper level point. So why waste our time later when we can just gain levels now? So 5.5 hours of in-game time, we were able to take on a Sabrina for our first attempt at our 6th gym badge. And I go for mainly physical attacking moves, mainly return. Simply because Sabrina's team is pretty physically weak. The only one that actually took more than one shot was Venomoth. And it got us actually confused at the same time and was able to take us to about half health before we finally took it out. Thank goodness we are faster than the Alakazam though, so we never had a true worry about this badge at all. Well, with 6 gym badges, it's time for Cinnabar Island. We head right to the mansion, and I don't do too much in here, and I typically never do. I do take on a couple of the trainers just for the sake of getting a little bit of extra XP, especially with Giovanni on the horizon. But then it's just typically grabbing the lift key and moving straight onto Blaine. And even once in Blaine's gym, we do the exact same thing. We are definitely grinding XP right now. 53, even if we end up at 55, I don't think that's going to be enough for Giovanni. And I personally like to fight the trainers in the gym for Blaine anyways over doing the questions, because it's a little quicker to hit those buttons, and it's a little quicker... Or it's a little nicer, I guess, to get the XP rather than just doing the questions, if it's going to be about the same time anyways. But with that, it's time for Blaine. Is our little Sparky able to take down his fire dogs? Well, he is able to take down Growlithe in one shot with a Shockwave. 2 returns is what we need for Ponyta. It does get a Fire Blast off, which kind of sucks. Shockwave is the 2-shot on the Rapidash. I should have just Shockwaved the Ponyta to begin with. I don't know why I didn't. And it's a 2-shot for the Arcanine. We lived on 9 HP though, and we first attempt Blaine. Boy, oh boy, does that feel good. But do we ever have a massive challenge ahead of us? Bill, just get out of here. I don't want to see you. I don't want to help you with your weird inventions and experiments. Before we can take Giovanni on, we have a couple of things I wanted to do. We want to get the HM for strength, so we're going to go give the warden his golden teeth so he can give us that. We're also going to pick up that rare candy from inside the house. And then we're going to head back to Celadon, get the coin case so we can get the TM for Iron Tail, as this is going to be super helpful for the rock-type Pokemon in Giovanni's gym. And then we take on every trainer for the most part in his gym. And there was one pesky trainer that gave us some grief. He's got 2 Marowaks, he's got a Nidoqueen, and a Rhyhorn. We're able to 2-shot the Marowaks, but Boomerang does so much damage, it's leaving us at 14 HP, and we still have 3 Pokemon to take out. It's just not really ideal. We are able to take down the Rhyhorn with no problem. Nidorina goes down the same way, but 14 HP is just not enough for the Nidoqueen, as we do need to 2-shot it. I am able to get a good string of luck here though, Versum, and we're able to take down his team. The first Marowak uses Leer, and then we're able to 2-shot it. The second Marowak also uses Leer, so we have full HP going onto his Rhyhorn, and Iron Tail is able to take it out. And now the only true threat is just Nidoqueen. And Nidoqueen is a 2-shot with return, but I do go for Secret Power foolishly, thinking maybe we can get the Paralysis. We don't. It uses a Hyper Potion. Are we able to survive? We are, with 29 HP and Poison. Oh boy, if we were struggling there, I don't even want to know how we are going to do versus Giovanni. We don't have the greatest attack stat right now. It's not even at 100 yet. Let's give this a go. The Rhyhorn uses Earthquake and does massive damage to us. Oh god, we didn't even get by the first Pokemon. So I tried this a few more times at level 57 because I like to beat my head against the wall, to the point of finally realizing it's not going to work. We don't one-shot the Rhyhorn. It is 2 shots unless we get a defense drop there, but it's still 2-shot even after it heals. The biggest thing with Rhyhorn, it doesn't usually use Earthquake. It does try to use the speed control. So as long as we don't see Scary Face twice, we should never get hit by Dugtrio, which is nice. And then we just have to worry about the Nidoqueen and the Nidoking. Like I said, 57 isn't going to work though, so I use my rare carries. We get to level 60. 2 Iron Tails are going to be what we need for Rhyhorn. Unfortunately, it looks like at level 60 we are speed tied with Dugtrio, or I don't know, because usually after one Scary Face we're fine for speed, so maybe he's got lucky there. But anyways, we buy the Nidoqueen. We have a Petra Berry attached just in case we do get those poison points, but then the Nidoking takes us out. Okay. Well, let's try at level 62. I used the rest of the rare candies I had, and we still are one-shotting that Rhyhorn. That would be super nice if we could, because then I don't ever have to worry about Scary Face. But we'll make it work. We are faster than the Dugtrio now for sure at level 62. Nidoqueen is a 2-shot, but it does massive damage to us with Earthquake, taking us to about half. Nidoking is a 2-shot, and that critical hit was so unnecessary. I do not care what you say. Oh... But we're going to keep trying. I went out and trained to get to level 63 so we could hit the next damaging rounding threshold. Unfortunately, the Rhyhorn decides it's going to Earthquake instead of Scary Facing, putting us to half health and putting us at a very big disadvantage when the Nidoqueen and Nidoking come out. And as you can see, we're at 2 HP for the Nidoking, and this is just not going to work unless we got a crit there, and we didn't. Okay, well, let's go back out and train some more, because clearly 63 isn't going to work. I come back at 65. More damage rounding threshold. I miss a first Iron Tail, but we do get a high roll, it looks like, and take down the Rhyhorn in one shot. Dugtrio goes down. Nidoqueen is still 2-shot, but it's not doing nearly as much damage, and that's what we're looking for here. We got to be able to live 2 Earthquakes. We do, but we get poison pointed by the Nidoking, and we lose. Okay, let's try this again. Iron Tail isn't enough, or we low roll maybe. The Rhyhorn lived on 1 HP. I'm not ever worried about this Dugtrio because it just gets slapped around. But are we going to be able to withstand the Nidoqueen and Nidoking? That's really good. It looks like that Nidoking low rolled. We have 101 HP. We live on 4 for the Nidoking, so he must have high rolled or something. Oh, yeah. And then we don't take down the Rhyhorn, but he misses a Rock Blast. Let's go. We have the 8th gym badge. Oh my gosh. That one was painful. I'm not one to really like to level up. I'd like to try and get as low as level as we can. But honestly, I think that was the only option we could do there. There was just a lot of struggle. We would have to get completely lucky. I don't know if there was really another strategy out there to try and beat Giovanni. And if we think it's going to get any easier from there, though, it's truly, truly not. We didn't have to use the Petra Berry, though, which was nice. But we still have a Chesto for the Venusaur, and we're going to attach it for the last rival fight before the Elite Four. And let's see how this goes. Shockwave is going to be enough to take down Pidgeot, which is perfect. Rhyhorn comes out next. Iron Tail misses. It does just go for takedown, thank goodness. We miss Iron Tail twice. I hit the help screen because I don't know what I'm doing. And then we finally take down the Rhyhorn. Gyarados is no issue as well. Shockwave is 4 times effective to it, so that's perfect. Growlithe should be easy. It goes down. Alakazam, it's always interesting. It depends on what it uses. Here it just uses Disable, so we don't have to worry about anything at the moment. Venusaur comes out next. The Disable on the Shockwave goes away, thank goodness, because it is actually going to be a little bit more effective than using, say, Return or Iron Tail after having 2 Intimidate drops and our attack stat being so low. But it is a matter of trying to get through this into this attack, and I butchered that saying. Anyways, we lost our first attempt. We come back for a second one, and we are able to take down the Pidgeot and the Rhyhorn at about the same health as we were the first attempt, so not really in a better standing by any means. But we do get to the Growlithe after we take down the Gyarados. It goes down in one shot. Alakazam again doesn't attack, it just uses Calm Mind this time, which I'll take. We don't have to worry about Shockwave being disabled. I did go for Secret Power this time, trying to get the paralysis right away, and this is what was truly key for this fight, as Venusaur is paralyzed 3 times in a row, and it doesn't heal, and we're able to take it out. Whew, okay. 7 hours in game time, and we finally are at the Elite Four. Let's give this a go. We have the same move set that we were rocking for that rival fight. The do Porygon lives a shockwave. Okay, and even on a high roll, it lives the shockwave. This isn't good. Cloyster comes out next. We are able to take it down. I don't know Cloyster's defense stats. I've never really looked into it, but man, it's not the greatest special defense from what I can tell. Anyways, we take down Slowbro. Lapras is a 2-shot, but it confused us, and we just keep hitting ourselves. Okay, I'm getting nervous for this one. We try again. Dewgong is still a 2-shot. Nothing to worry about here as we take it down without taking any damage. Sweet. Cloyster's a 1-shot. We don't have to worry about it. I believe Slowbro is a 1-shot. It is awesome. Lapras comes out next, and it's a 2-shot for Shockwave. It does confuse us again, but this time we only hit ourselves twice instead of the whole time. And we get to the Jinx, and 1 Iron Tail is all we need to take it out. And we are on to Bruno. Now, Bruno is actually quite scary. He has 2 Onyxes. They both know Earthquake. So let's see how this goes. The first one alludes to use Rock Tomb, trying to get speed control, which is okay. The second one does go for Earthquake, taking us down to 76 health, and we miss an Iron Tail, causing us to lose. I try it one more time. I am a little nervous here, but we do get down the Onyx with minimal damage from Rock Tomb. Earthquake's going to take us again to 80 HP, but we don't miss that second Iron Tail. So we finally get to the fighting Pokemon. I go for Secret Power. We do get Paralysis, but it doesn't matter because Shockwave's a 2-hit, so we take it out. Hitmonlee, also 2-hit, but we live on 6 HP after a Mega Kick. Okay, can we take down the Machamp? No. Well, there's only one thing I can really think about doing here, and that's going back to Celadon and getting the TM for Thunderbolt. It's going to do a lot more damage, and as you can see here, we got through Lorelei without even getting hit. Bruno, different story. We're still taking quite a bit of damage here from the Earthquakes on the Onyxes, and he's able to take us out with the first Onyx. Oh my gosh. Why? Bruno's not supposed to be hard. Oh well. On this attempt, we are able to get an Iron Tail off. He does go for the Rock Tomb, which is good. So we have 164 HP for the second Onyx to come out. As long as we don't miss our Iron Tail, and we don't, we've got about a little under half here for his fighting type Pokemon. Hitmonchan misses a Rock Tomb, and 2 Thunderbolts after a full restore is all we need to take him out. Hitmonlee is 1 Thunderbolt. No, never mind, he lived on 1 HP, but he did miss his Mega Kick, which is perfect, because then it's just 2 more attacks and we take it out. Alright, we've got good health for the Machamp. Can we do it? He is a 2-shot, but he hits us with Cross Chop. Okay. Jolteon, you're worrying me right now. Right. On this attempt, we were able to get by the first Onyx without getting hit from Rock Tomb, giving us a little bit more HP for later on here. And then the second Onyx goes down. Hitmonchan, still Thunderbolt is going to be a 2-shot, but he does not hit us because he tried using Counter. I'll take it. Hitmonlee, though, on the other hand, ooh, we get a crit. I'll take it. 86 HP for the Machamp. We get a Paralysis, and he just goes for Scary Face. Oh, sometimes you just need a little luck to get by. And speaking of luck, you just never know what you're going to get with Agatha. And surprisingly, this was Jolteon's easiest Elite Four member. And not surprisingly, like type-wise matchup, just based off of the teams themselves. We all know Agatha's kind of random. Lorelei's usually pretty easy. And Bruno's super easy because his AI is just dumb. But anyways, we're able to get through all of Agatha's Pokemon here using Shockwave and Thunderbolt, making our way to our final Elite Four member before the champion, Lance. Now, Lance the Dragon Tamer here. I'm not sure really what I want to do, so I'm going Brute Force. We're going to go Thunderbolt a lot of the way here. Now, it would be super nice if we had a Cherry Berry that we unfortunately had to use for Erica, because the second Dragonair will always use Thunder Wave on its first turn, typically. And that's going to be kind of crucial. As you can see, this first run, we actually get all the way to Lance's final Pokemon, but we get paralyzed. If we didn't get paralyzed there, we would have first attempted Lance. And because of that, we're going to have a massive issue now and not get that lucky crit that we had versus the Dragonite. Anyways, it goes the same way for the most part. We take down Gyarados, Dragonair, and the second Dragonair, but it does paralyze us, unfortunately. The Dragonite is going to be a 3-shot with Thunderbolt, but with being paralyzed twice in a row makes it a lot more difficult. We have 30 HP thanks to it hitting itself after being fatigued from an outrage, but we're slower than Aerodactyl now due to the paralyze, and it takes us out. So at level 69, I decided to use our final rare candy to get to that final damage rounding threshold for this fight, and hopefully that is enough to maybe make that Dragonite 2 shots and not 3 shots after the Citrus Berry. Gyarados goes down and 1 Thunderbolt. Dragonair goes down in 2. It does get a Dragon Rage off, doing 40 damage to us. It is what it is. We get a nice critical hit versus the second one, so we don't have to worry about paralysis. The Dragonite does look like it's a 2-shot. Perfect. We have 147 HP, and we miss our first Iron Tail, but we get the second one, and we are going on to the champion at about, I think it's about 7 hours and 40 minutes in game time. Yup, right on the dot. Oh boy. Can we do it? Can Jolteon get a sub 8 hour time? I don't know. We'll find out here. In our first attempt, we're able to take down the Pidgeot in 1 Thunderbolt. Perfect. Rhydon comes out next. We miss an Iron Tail. What? Okay. I knew that Earthquake was going to be strong, but not that strong. And so I decided to go back and redo the whole Elite Four until the point where we level up and get to level 76. Moving us to 2 whole damage rounding thresholds. I just didn't think level 70 was going to be enough after seeing that Earthquake destroy us. And as you can see, we come back and we get a nice critical hit versus the Rhydon, taking it out. Alakazam's a 1-shot. Perfect. Gyarados is no worries, being 4 times weak to us. Arcanine gets an Intimidate off. We get a Thunderbolt to a Sliver. A little bit disappointing, but we are going to just Shockwave and then Thunderbolt after it heals. We have 137 HP for the Venusaur. I think we're sitting pretty good. It sets up Sunny Day. We are getting it to a 3-shot, it looks like, but it does start healing itself and using Growth. Not the greatest combination for us by any means when we are looking to hit it 3 times. Is it gonna be enough here? It took in Sunlight. We gotta kill it. Solar Beam takes us down. Alright, well, let's keep trying here. I do think we've saw a lot of promise at that level, or at this level of 76. So let's keep going. Pidgeot goes down in 1 shot. Perfect. Rhydon comes out next, and it should go for speed control rather than using Earthquake. And I lie. It stomped on our throat. Okay. Let's 3rd time's the charm at level 60 or 76, I swear. Rhydon comes out. Scary face. No Earthquake. Oh, use Rock Tomb. I'll take that. It missed. We have full health. Alakazam is a 1-shot. I love it. We know Gyarados is, so it's just a matter of what can we do versus Arcanine and the Venusaur. Arcanine isn't a 1-shot. It's Paralysis. 142 HP though instead of 137. Is that 5 extra HP gonna mean anything? Maybe not, but you know what is? The extra PP that we have on Thunderbolt, because I decided to use Shockwave more throughout the fight than I did last time. We get the Venusaur all the way to red. It heals itself with Synthesis. Come on, Jolteon, this is your time. He does it. He gets the champion down. Level 77. Just wow. This was an extremely difficult challenge that I didn't think would be as hard as it was. But when you look at Jolteon's moveset and its base stats, you can definitely see where the difficulty arises from. We did end with an 8-hour and 23 in-game time frame. Not great. I think that's our worst time for Fire Red. I am trying to get better routings going, and I do think we can be a lot better in those placements. Do I think I played my best with this run too? Not overly. But at the end of the day, it was a fun run. If you guys enjoyed, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed, hit that sub button, and I'll see you next time.